I didn't, at that council meeting, did not state that. I stated that we had contacted the engineer to look at the problem. So that's a misstatement there. So I do not plan to take any further action on the subject. We are already disposing of the donated riprap elsewhere. Further, the mayor also stated in the last meeting that this erosion was a result of years of neglect. And I stand by that statement. This was not an accurate statement. This is not the result of any neglect. Okay, skipping ahead, so I don't have to read the whole thing, they agreed this was a result of the 2015 weather events. They, meaning FEMA. I do not believe that FEMA would look at that picture that you've got in your hands and say this happened in 1 year. But it was not fundable because we had not previously taken any preventative actions. The word "we" means Board of Public Works, in my opinion. We have not taken any previous preventive measures, and that is true. Nothing's been done in that area for 8, 10 years, if ever. So the problem has evaporated because of nothing being done. So the issue of erosion happens from neglect. You know, it's an area that, yeah, the water hits the shore for time after time. Every time the wind blows, every time we get rain, whatever. But I think the word "we" there is an indication to me that ownership of the erosion falls back to the Board of Public Works. In another email that was sent out, just an update on the lake repairs. Laurie Miller came in to visit about the lake maintenance. We had a very productive talk. Since the last time we spoke, neither of us had a plan for the lake repair. And I had failed to contact him with my thoughts for remediation. He had planned to seek help from the city engineer. True. However, Larry has some good contacts with the county, and we may get some county help. I will be visiting, this is the contractor speaking now, I will be visiting with another contractor for advice about just how to install the materials. So we have a problem that our city engineer has looked at, and we had him look at it to protect our road. If you look at that picture, the road, which is a public access road, is in danger of having to be closed because of a safety issue. So it's my contention that problem needs to be addressed before the city has to take the action to close the road.
I think you need to go back and read part of the statement here. It says the lake was built in 1978, and so was the Circle Drive where the whistle is located. So over 35 years span between 1978 and 2013, this shore has eroded 4.5 feet. Since August 2013, we have lost 6.5 feet. So in 35 years, we've lost 4.5 feet. I know of another lake that was probably built in 2013 that the north side shoreline is probably eroded away, what, 10 feet, Sam? The south side, I'm sorry. 10 feet? Yeah. And that was, so it's been up for 3 years now due to erosion from the wind and the rain and all the stuff that we've got. From what I've heard, Tony had a plan to fix this and was willing to donate most of the labor to do that, and then the price of it is around the $5,000 to get the blocks hauled in and to fill the shore wall, to slow down the wall, to build the seawall basically to stop the erosion problem. So, I mean,
I would suggest that every council member go to the lake, look at the problem, and we're talking about not 10 feet, not 20 feet.
have you got a topographical map that shows it?
Not here tonight.
So maybe we need to have the facts here before we start throwing rocks at people.
Well, no, I think we need to get it on the table so we can discuss it.
Well, I understand that, and you said that you were getting hold of the city engineer. What did the city engineer say?
I don't have a copy of that report here tonight. Did that? come in from the engineer? I have not seen that
You
report.
made it aware to us last council meeting that, yeah, well, there's a problem out there, yeah, there's erosion, yeah, it needs to be fixed, and the Board of Public Works come up with a way to fix it.
5,000 will be a drop in a bucket to fix the problem.
To build a seawall with.
You need to go out there and look at the lake. And we will follow the engineer's directive when we pass that on to the Board of
So we're
Public
gonna
Works.
spend a lot more money that needs to be spent to fix it.
I think you need to see the problem. We are talking about a several $1,000 problem. Have you seen the lake erosion out there?
No, but I'll go out there and look at it.
I hope you will.
I see that, and I think that the plan that they came up with, which was to put blocks along the shorelines, I recall, and then to put clean riprap behind it. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't
Why
either.
that won't work.
And I know Tony was gonna donate a lot of labor to do it, where it wasn't gonna cost anything labor-wise to do it, it's gonna be mostly materials.
So am I hearing an offer from the Board of Public Works to fix the problem for $5,000 that's been appropriated by the Board of Public Works?
After throwing him under the bus like you just did, I doubt he's gonna probably get the labor now.
City will provide labor if he'll agree to the problem.
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe Larry Miller has the capability to go out there and set blocks with the equipment that he's got.
I would appreciate you didn't criticize city
I'm
employees.
just saying that.
I appreciate if you wouldn't criticize a city employee.
He's not criticizing
I'm not
employees,
criticizing,
we don't have
he
the
doesn't have the
equipment to do
equipment
it.
to do it.
I don't think we have equipment in the city, I don't think the city owns the equipment to do it.
Okay.
That's not a
That's,
criticism.
I wasn't criticizing Larry Miller, I'm just saying that we, exactly, we don't have the equipment to sell it. Tony does, he's got a large excavator to sell it.
Well, his offer in the email, I would assume still stands then. If he thinks that will fix the problem, I don't think that the council, the mayor, anybody would have a problem if that will address the issue.
He seems to think it was.
Well, maybe we can talk to him about it.
Well, I got an email today from an official at the BPW, and the offer is still good.
That's a positive thing. Thank you.
Let them take care of it.
Let them have that.
And
That's fine.
or the Board of Public Works meeting, that's what I understood, they came up with a plan to fix it.
Okay.
And the $5,000 was a top end, figure.
You might be doing it for less.
Okay, well, let's turn it over to the Board of Public Works and let them go for it.
I think that's what we should do.
Okay, all right. Consensus? Any opposed? Very good, thank you. Okay, reports of committees. Start with Doyle, Councilman Weeks.
We covered most of the BPW stuff. There's a water main break at Pitt in Lexington due to the gas company doing boring. O&M billed the gas company for repairs, so, BPW doesn't have to pay for it. I guess there was a second event somewhere else in the city. This is pretty common, but they paid for it, so no big deal. The audit, we're gonna discuss the audit next month at the BPW meeting. It's March 1st, 7. So if you wanna hear an audit report, be there. Police department, just waiting on, orders for the parts for the car to come in, for the new car. He's got some, we put some of it together, just waiting on most of the rest of it. And that's it for that.
Okay, thank you. Jim?
Nothing new.
Nothing new.
Still working on our ordinance. Still working on our ordinance.
Next month?
I think so.
Okay, very good, progress. Councilman Bradley? Sir? Okay. Jim?
I don't have anything on, street.
This is committee reports.
Yeah.
This is committee.
I just wanted to bring up a deal that come to my mind here a while back. Oil prices dropping, and asphalt's pretty cheap, probably cheaper than it's gonna be in a long time. As everybody on this area knows, I'm against spending $185,000 to $85,000 on a fire truck. And I've been where that much money might be better used. And quite frankly, I think one would be buying a whole bunch of asphalt and lay it down in the city.
Do you have recent prices on asphalt?
Pardon me?
Do you have a recent tonnage price?
I was looking in a deal there, I think they bought a small load, and I think the asphalt was $51 a ton plus the hauling. And the hauling was pretty expensive on that, they only had seven ton load. I'm guessing probably in the neighborhood of $60. And maybe cheaper if a guy would go in there and say, look, we want to buy 2,000 ton, or something like that.
Okay,
I'm
one
just-
thing, go ahead.
I'm just saying, you know, we sit around and we talk about nothing gets done, nothing gets done. I think ideas need to at least be floated to kind of get something to at least talk about. And that's one that I think has some merit.
One thing, Mayor, you said that, we've got money in capital improvements, is that right? Do you have any idea how much is in capital improvements?
Not the fire truck.
No, not the fire truck, but I'm talking about capital improvements, our city capital improvements. Because asphalt would be
$20-some thousand.
would be a capital improvement. All make a capital improvement.
Some thousand,
Yeah.
Roughly how many yards does it take to do a city block?
A ton will do a 10-foot square, 2 inches thick. So, we can kind of go on that. No, not if you got a good base. You might even get by an inch and a half if you go around, but make sure your potholes are taken care of. We got a paver. I mean, you know, it just seems to me like
I know that
it's
Larry,
something to look into.
Larry's planning to put a 2-inch overlay on Market, that block of Market, or block and a half of Market.
I'm sorry.
I said Larry Miller is already committed to putting a 2-inch overlay on Market Street.
Yes, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. That's down the road away from the, what do you say, when the robins are singing?
Yeah, there you go.
But with Jim, that's a good point, with oil prices the way they are, asphalt would have to be, less money than it has been in the past. So it might be time maybe we can commit to something or something, we'll make places short.
I would suggest that you talk to Larry Miller, since you're on the street department, talk to Larry Miller and see, you know, get an interchange there of direction, suggestion, so that, maybe that can be accomplished. One thing I need to clarify, and it's not clear in everybody's mind, we put the fire truck question on the ballot. That is, you know, a designated amount of money that the voters will decide.
Amen.
And that can only be used on that specific purpose. So it's not like we can take the 185 and buy asphalt or light bulbs or anything, it has to be on fire truck.
But you can take and have another bond issue.
Yes,
To do streets.
yes, that's very true.
And that way you wouldn't, I'm just saying, I'd rather pay for a bond issue doing streets than a bond issue buying a fire truck, that I don't think we need.
Yeah, I think we have to solve one, I mean, we have to have an answer to one before we start the second plan.
That could be, but,
It may be too late too.
Yeah, for April, it may be too late for April, but there is one in the fall.
But when I'm talking about the price of oil,
Yeah.
anything in the Mideast, it goes up, you know, right now I think it's around $30 a barrel.
Yeah, 30 or
Well, 20, it got down to 26, I think, and now it's up to about 30. Well, it could be $100 a barrel this month, and then that could, the window for doing anything with cheap asphalt would be gone.
Yeah. Is there any possibility of using some of our capital improvement money and buy up a stockpile of asphalt?
Well,
I said, is it a possibility of using some capital improvement money for the purpose of stockpiling some asphalt?
yeah.
Pre-purchase?
Yeah, prepay. Prepay, yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you could go into one of those flyers and you could say, look, we're gonna, in the next 6 months, be using 2,000 tons, what kind of a deal do you get? And negotiate even better than what he bought 7 tons for.
Right.
And Lord knows it's city streets.
Yeah. I would make a motion that we explore that option.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to explore that option. And set aside some capital improvement money to if we need to put some money up front, and then maybe float a bond issue after we hear what happens on the fire truck.
I'm not sure we need a motion, we just need a consensus to do that.
Yeah, who has the final say on that? Would Larry have, Miller have the final say on where's the asphalt?
Well,
I think city council.
he has a budget to follow. If the council wants to amend his budget and put more money into it, then the council technically is making that decision. But the conversation needs to be had now to see what the price is, you know, how much we're capable of purchasing.
And what kind of a deal we can get.
And go forward with that.
Larry will be able to find that out.
Oh, yeah, very easy.
And prioritizing what streets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even 2,000 tons.
That's gonna be the hardest part of the whole thing.
But every
Town,
town,
every town.
paying for it's gonna be a lot.
Well,
more
I
than
mean,
that.
cause you got like Lexington over there that's, you know, it's been tore up, now you got everybody putting these gas lines in, everywhere you look, there's a hole in the middle of the road. So I mean, you know, everybody's gonna want their road fixed first, so no matter what road we fix, someone else is gonna be mad on the other side. So,
Well, like I said, we always have to look at the overall streetscape and decide which are the heaviest traffic.
You can't,
Yeah.
lose everybody. In the meantime, don't forget all it.
It's kind of like,
Here.
it's kind of like the whole story though, eating an elephant, you do it one bite at a time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
probably you get the juiciest bite first.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think the city council members should have their streets repaved.
I'm glad somebody.
Well, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I want that to be.
I think you have a consensus.
just a real quick.
All right, we will, explore that and get back to the council, probably before the next council meeting. We'll get
Yeah,
those
I'd say
numbers
if
to
you
you.
took a special meeting or something, you got a real deal on it, call a meeting or phone, whatever's legal.
I know the Bassett boys that run that one in Kansas City. That's where we got the last
Larry
bass,
Beals.
but I don't know if they would be the best deal, but I can certainly talk to them. Get
Let's see
that.
where it
Also,
is.
also when you ask him, Larry, ask him what the game plan is on fixing the holes we got, as in these boreholes. Are the gas gonna be coming back, are they gonna patch these holes, or are we just gonna have to live with the gravel for?
Well, I'm sure they'll probably have to put it back.
Well, like the ordinance says they have to put it back like it
All
was.
the ruts in my yard and the riprap they've thrown in there to get it out of the street. They better put it back.
Yeah, these positive suggestions right before the election are a good idea. Any other discussion on that?
No, I don't think so. Oh, you're talking about, what we were talking about, or my?
You're next, if you have
Oh, okay.
a committee.
I'm on the building committee, unless one falls down that I'm aware of, I don't have anything for it.
They're in pretty good shape. Jim?
We did have two, park board meetings since the last council meeting. I want to thank Sharon for helping facilitate, get the paperwork out to the park board members. We only had two park board members show up to both meetings, David Cow and Roger McConville. There was some good discussion on items that they would like to address as a park board. We did check into the state statutes, or David Cow did, to see if we could reduce our park board from 9 down to 5, since we have a hard time filling those roles as park board members. But the state statutes say for a fourth-class city that we are required to have 9 on the board. So as of the two meetings we've had, we still have not had a quorum, so hopefully with the park board resignations and the park board appointments.
We're a third class city.
Oh, did I say fourth class? Sorry about that. Hopefully with the appointments of these park board members, the next meeting, which we've already, committed to having a meeting the first Monday of every month, but because of the way the first meeting of the month for March falls, we've opted to move the next park board meeting back to February 29th, which just happens to be leap year. So February 29th only comes around, what, once every 4 years, right?
Okay.
And, election year. No. So, with the help of, the park board members, Nancy Thomas and, Councilman Bradley and I will try to help facilitate any desires they have, and maybe we can be more active in the community than we have been in the past.
Well, way, what's the story on that door that you guys were working, you had a steel door, did that, where are you at on that?
They were both purchased, and they're gonna wait to put them on until the spring.
So if anybody wants to join the park board, who do they contact?
Well, when we have our next park board meeting, the 29th of February, they will elect officers. As always, you can contact the existing members that we have now, or the council, any council member.
Or City Hall.
City Hall,
City
City
Hall.
Hall, City Hall. Sure.
So,
If you have an interest in being, there's a lot of people here.
Gotta live in town, though.
to be on the park board.
We got a lot of friends.
So that,
It's an interesting board to be on. I was on for years, I think, Dorothy, we were on it for how long? For a long time. I see you're back on it.
Dorothy is very active in the park board for years.
Yeah. It's an interesting board. If I want to get involved, it's a good place.
I don't know if David has anything he wants to add to what our meeting, I guess they were actually work sessions, so that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Councilman Raylor, second by Bradley. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Sheriff, we don't know about that park board now.
Yeah.